All I read last night was Boston Red Sox fans saying Aaron Boone's a terrible head coach, saying that Bubbles was terrible, that Baboon was terrible. But guess what? I think Alex Cora traded bodies, traded minds, and traded brains with Bubbles tonight. Good evening and welcome to another installment of the New York Minute Sports Show. Alex Cora turns into Aaron Boone in front of our eyes in the boogie down. And the Yankees are winners tonight. And tomorrow night got a showdown with the Red Sox in a Game 3 elimination. We've got highlights. We got Aaron Boone's post-game press conference. It's New York Minute Sports. It's New York Sports for New York Nuts. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's go!
It's New York Minute Sports. It's New York Sports Talk for sports nuts.
Good evening and welcome to another installment of the New York Minute Sports Show. We're a little late because I was driving 85 back from the boogie down Bronx after the huge win tonight. I was in the building and that's why I almost have no voice. Welcome to New York Minute Sports. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get fired up, Yankee fans. Let's get fired up because guess what happened? The other team's manager turned into Aaron Boone tonight, and you could hear a pin drop from the Boston Red Sox fans that turned out in the Bronx tonight. And guess what? They were like, what? I didn't know Aaron Boone coached the Red Sox. Hold on. Did Aaron Boone switch jerseys? Nope. Just your manager lost his mind and took your starting pitcher out in the second inning and started a bullpen game that he didn't tell all the fan base about. I asked 4 different Red Sox fans at Yankee Stadium tonight, hey, did Alex Cora say anything in the pregame interviews? Did he say this was going to be a bullpen game? No joke, no lie. 3 of them said to me, is our head coach Aaron Boone? And then I went, well, get used to it with Bubbles, Baboon, Buffoon. But he wasn't our Bubbles. He wasn't our Baboon. He wasn't our Buffoon tonight. That was Alex Cora's job. And then he started the clown car of bullpen arms. He used 7 different pitchers in this game. So he took one of his areas of leverage that he had on the New York Yankees because he was able to get into the bullpen in a 3-1 game last night and made the Yankees use a lot of arms in the pen last night. So Alex Cora said, you know what, Bubbles? Hold my beer. Let me show you how to burn through a bullpen. And holy shit, did he do that. Didn't use Chapman tonight, but he used his 8th inning guy for 2 innings, and Hitchcock is going to be done for next game. And Aaron Boone actually handled his bullpen better than Alex Cora tonight. And you know what's so funny? All I heard in the comments section, all I read last night was Boston Red Sox fans saying Aaron Boone's a terrible head coach. Toronto Blue Jays fans that are waiting for their team to play, waiting for their turn to play, saying that Bubbles was terrible, that Baboon was terrible. But guess what? I think Alex Cora traded bodies, traded minds, and traded brains with Bubbles tonight because he was lockstep. That's what happens with the cybermetrics. It gets every manager nowadays. They get a call from the GM and they get a call from the front office in the middle of the game, and it's like, you better play so-and-so or you're going to have your ass reamed out. Also, Devin Williams, low-lev Dev tonight. That play by Cody Bellinger saved a double and was helped Devin Williams to save that inning from a long inning. And also, Devin Williams got the win tonight. Yes, I repeat, look at this double play. Low-lev Dev got the win tonight. He came in the 8th inning in a high-leverage situation, and Anthony Volpe looked like a ballerina, looked like an Italian ballerina. Look at that. Look at the dexterity. Look at that dexterity. Look at that guile. Look at that fortitude. And that's exactly what the New York Yankees showed tonight. fortitude. Also, the Red Sox players were hitting their own players with their own baseball bats and equipment tonight because he hit the guy on the on-deck circle and hit him right in the pills with his own bat. Guess what? Jazz and Ben Rice proved why we call Aaron Boone Bubbles buffoon baboon, because they proved him wrong. It didn't take Ben Rice long to prove Aaron Boone was wrong by not playing him at all last night, and not to mention putting Jazz in a terrible situation by not playing him last night and putting him in the funk. Listen, I obviously know what kind of diva that Jazz Chisholm can be on this team. He was all in my Instagram comments all throughout the season. We even spoke on the phone at one point to talk Jazz off the ledge and to quell the beef. Yes, that happened. Go to New York Minute, NEWYRKMIN on Instagram and check it out. I broke down his ejection and he blocked me for life. So Jazz, if you are watching this, and it will get to him, you're my 30-30 guy. Aaron Boone had no business not playing you in the first game. That was them trying to be smarter than baseball, and look at that slide. That's exactly what Jazz Chisholm brings to the New York Yankees, is that athleticism. That's why 30-30 hasn't happened in Major League Baseball. And he had the Bronx rocking tonight, folks. You needed earplugs if you were a Boston Red Sox fan in that stadium. And Ben Rice started the party tonight with his 2-run shot. And that's the bat that you need in a lineup. So the two guys that Aaron Bubbles Baboon left on the bench last night legitimately won this game for the New York Yankees tonight, because if it isn't for that slide and if it isn't for Ben Rice's home run, we are talking and we are having a completely different post game. And maybe, I don't know, maybe Bubbles, maybe Baboon, maybe Brian Cashman on some three-dimensional chess shit wanted to fire up Jazz Chisholm, and boy, did they do that. Because if you looked at Jazz Chisholm's interview after the game last night with his back to the press, it looked like we might have lost Jazz. It looked like we might have lost our second baseman, but guess what? He showed up guns blazing. He showed up with a chip on his shoulder. And Jazz Chisholm plays better when he has something to prove and he has somebody to prove wrong, because Jazz Chisholm has been doing that his whole career. Now, let's get on to our big boys. Bellinger, Judge, and Big G. Where are you? We don't pay you $40 million. We don't pay you $27 million. And we don't pay you $24 million to hit singles. We need power. We need doubles. We need home runs. Aaron Judge, I'm calling you out. You're on a milk carton. Yes, you have 3 hits in 2 games. That's great. We don't pay you to hit singles. Chicks dig the long ball, Judge. Send one over right field and make it all better. You need the statement game. Aaron Judge, you can feel it in the crowd. You can feel the tension every time Aaron Judge gets up to bat. You can feel the tension in the air, and you know that leaks down onto the field into Aaron Judge. Think about how long it took Alex Rodriguez to get comfortable in the playoffs, and the rest of the team is picking Aaron Judge up once again. Now let's talk about Anthony Rodon. Anthony Rodon's third inning was messy. This is what happens with him. Look at that guy. This is the same guy that came here the first year, shaved his head and his eyebrows, and it's like, hey, Anthony, it's a beard policy, not a head policy. So he tends to be a little, I call him Favre from Super Troopers, when he goes into the convenience store and he asks what liter cola is, and he knocks out the guy behind the counter because he's so frustrated. That's what he reminds me of. He starts to walk around the mound, and he did this in the third inning against the Royals in the first round of the playoffs last year. And this is why, guys, I know the New York Yankees won tonight, but I will go to my grave saying that they should have pitched Max Fried in game 2. It's easy. I said it last night. Aaron Boone took Max Fried out too early last night. And guess what? The groundwork has been laid by Joe Girardi and Joe Torre. You leave those guys in the game, and that's exactly what Alex Cora didn't do tonight. So Anthony Rondon needed to start the first game because Max Fried is the stopper 12-3, but guess what? That's out the window now. Now it's up. Our whole season is on the shoulders of Killer Cam Schlittler, the flamethrower rookie that came into the season after the All-Star break and gave the shot in the arm the New York Yankees exactly needed. Now he's going to have to carry that over into the postseason. And also, for all the people that said, Luis Gil couldn't be on the postseason roster because he pitched on Sunday. Luis Gil could pitch on 4 days rest, okay? These guys aren't made out of balsa wood. These guys are professional athletes, and they should be able to go because Will Warren is technically not even be able to use. Because if Cam Schlittler doesn't have it tomorrow night and somebody has to come into the game, I don't see Yarborough or Will Warren getting it done. I would rather have Gil come into the game and start pitching. But guess what? We can all talk about the scenarios. We can all talk about that tomorrow before the game. But right now, the New York Yankees won one of the most crucial games of the year. They didn't use a lot of bullpen guys. Carlos Rodon gave them length. And yes, he did almost gas out in the third inning and then Boone comes out, and I thought he was going to pull the hook. It was crazy in the Bronx tonight, and the New York Yankees are moving on to Game 3, elimination in the Bronx tonight. Last night, he had a smirk on his face. Some lady asked him, do you know that all the teams that lose the first game of the 3-game series have all lost in their history? And he kind of gave a smirk, and he goes, I'm confident in the next 2 games. So you know what? This team has won without even Aaron Judge and Big G hitting. So now, if Trent Grisham, Belly, Big G, and Aaron Judge could add some power, this team is going to be unstoppable, and they will be packing their bags for north of the border. But first, we got to get through tomorrow. But here's Aaron Boone, Bubbles, Buffoon, Baboons, post-game press conference.
One down to the wire here. Just how would you describe the intensity tonight as you're essentially hanging on every pitch?
Yeah, what a game, it's been 2 great games.
Bro, I was a nervous wreck during the game. Everybody else was a nervous wreck around me. This was one of the best postseason games I've seen in a long time. And you know what, man? It doesn't get much better than Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees in the postseason. I was thinking about this today, is because when you're a kid, and I was a kid watching the Dynasty in the 90s, and you don't get to sit back and you don't get to appreciate these things. But then a little bit later in life, like tonight, during the 7th inning, it was tied up, and I sat back for a second, and I was like, this is what being a baseball fan is all about. And especially being a baseball fan on the East Coast and north of the border from us, a divisional matchup in October with the season on the line, it doesn't get much better than this, guys. And both of these teams are playing and they're firing on all cylinders. And tomorrow night is going to be a heavyweight boxing match.
These first 2, a lot of big plays on both sides. I thought our defense tonight was, really, really good. Turned a couple big time double plays. Did some good things on the bases. A homer by Benny to get us rolling. And then
the guy that you had on the bench yesterday, Boone.
The bullpen closing it down after Roto gave us enough there. Even though he struggled a little bit there in the 7th to get us, through 6, set us up, and able to hang on. But what a game.
What did you think of the way Jazz came out today? He had that play in the 7th, making sure a run didn't score there, and then the 7-pitch walk there in the...
Look at this. The New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox are tied 1 game apiece in this 3-game set. The postseason win-loss record with the Yankees and the Red Sox is tied 13-13. Tomorrow night, something's got to give in the Bronx. And the New York Yankees are walking in against the Red Sox, and baby, we're going to have a barn burner on our hands. Let's go, Yanks!
Bottom of the...
Yeah, first of all, the double play they turned on Bregman to his left with Volpe was special. And then obviously to save a run with the infield hit by Yoshida was excellent. And then a really good patient at bat, long at bat, where he's able to, he didn't get the jump to be able to steal a base there. But, obviously moving on the pitch gave him a little bit
These guys are looking focused, and they're looking tight on the base pads while they're running them, and they're looking tight on defense. Knock on wood. I don't want to jinx anything. I'm knocking on wood right now, but these guys have looked tight with the defense. Anthony Volpe looks good. Playoff Volpe? Question mark. Is that a thing? Because he's been playing better. He really has. I would like a little more Caballero in my life in this game, either in a pinch run or a pinch at bat, just to get his bat in the lineup, because I think once he enters the game, he enters this life and energy. But you saw Jazz tonight score from first base. That's what Jazz Chisholm brings to the game. And then guess what? The hero of all heroes tonight, Austin Wells, with the shot down the line, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Anthony Volpe and Austin Wells, they do play better when they are matched up back-to-back and belly-to-belly, no Diddy in the lineup.
A little bit of head start there, and his speed comes into play big time there. So obviously an exciting big play.
Okay, stay right here with Andy.
What do you think got Williams back to being Devin Williams over the past weeks and months?
I don't know. I mean, it was never that far off, frankly. I mean, the stuff was never not there.
Boone. Devin Williams was never that far off. Would you consider the planet Mars to be fucking off? Because when you have a 9.78 ERA, that's being more than just a little off, okay? Me, my personality, I'm a little off. Devin Williams was in another galaxy. This is the gaslighting from Aaron Boone, but I'll let it slide after a win for the New York Yankees tonight.
He had a couple of loud outings that, where the ball didn't really bounce his way. Like a couple of those outings where, it blew up on him. It's a squibber. It's, this and before it got away. So he was never that far off at any point of when he was struggling. And
also Devin Williams with the hot shot back to him that he caught in his stomach, and then he turned the double play. Anthony Volpe's tap on second base and able to turn that. What a goddamn double play. Oh my God, this place was rocking tonight, man.
Then I think he just started to stack outings, first time in the middle of the season before he hit a little rough patch again. And then now the final month plus, he's just stacked a lot of good outings, and I think just pitching with a lot of confidence, but getting in the zone more and having a presence with both pitches. So he's not, real predictable because he's using his fastball enough, and obviously the changeup.
Because the stuff has pretty much always been there. Do you think it's that confidence and conviction and
bullpen tonight? 3 innings pitched, 2 hits. I haven't mentioned Cruz's name. Cruz always likes to make it interesting. He likes to put a couple of guys on, and also he's not really sharp with that breaking ball coming out of the bullpen, but once he gets that breaking ball calibrated, dude, he is nasty. Like I've said before, if he were a starting pitcher through 7 innings, he would average 13 and a half strikeouts. That's how good his stuff is. And that's why Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman are in love with him.
Willingness to
I think there's another level of that when he's been going good. Just that, I know I'm good. I can get after it in the zone, and he's just been more consistent in his execution.
Okay, here on the left, Pete.
The mound visit with Cruz, just what was said and what convinced you to keep him in to get that last out in the 7th?
I didn't go out.
Yeah, well, what convinced you to stick with him though?
That was a players-only meeting, flubbed by the reporter. They all came out on the I thought he was taking Cruz out, but all the players they got onto the mound, and they were just talking about defensive alignment, because if you know that Cruz is a breaking ball pitcher, so he's going to try to get a ground ball somewhere in that infield, and they all just wanted to kind of and also I like how they did that tonight. Wells has been doing that a little bit more in this playoffs. I got to give Wells a shout out. Not only did he have the huge hit tonight, the way he was framing pitches tonight, bro, he really helped Devin Williams out. Also, he has been going out to the mound to slow things down. He did that with Rodon tonight, which I love. He didn't really do that during the regular season enough. I don't know if he's told not to do that by the team, but Wells has been slowing the pace down. He's been calling a good game. No, zero complaints from him, man. All you need is a little bit of offense out of Ryan McMahon, Wells, and Volpe, because the big guys should be taking care of it. And if the Yankees are getting by, if they're scathing by getting wins without Big G and Aaron Judge, just wait until they start hitting. And that's what I'm looking for tomorrow night in the stadium is Belly, Grisham, Judge, and Big G to have a big game because they are due. No more singles.
Yeah, just felt like he had it under control. Like I was giving him one more hitter there. Felt like with Story, was okay, and then I had Devin going in case we did get to Bregman there. But felt like his stuff was good. Knew he wanted it, and felt like he could finish it off. Story put a good swing on it. We were fortunate there, the long fly ball, but felt good about him being in there.
Well, there you go, guys. Aaron Bubbles Baboon, my buddy, with the post-game press conference, and the New York Yankees survived to see tomorrow. And I will be in the building once again, so I will be a little late with the postgame, just like tonight. Sorry, guys. Try to get home as fast as possible, and I also have to edit these things and then post them. But that's what I want to do for my followers here at New York Minute Sports, because you guys are just as crazy as me. You are just as big as New York nuts as me, and I know that you're chomping at the bit for 6 o'clock tomorrow on Thursday. The New York Yankees. It doesn't get much better than this. This is what baseball's all about. And I got a question before I leave. Red Sox fans, how do you feel now? You had a rested bullpen. You had a better manager. You had the hotter team. Now the New York Yankees just slowed your roll a little bit, and Alex Cora just looked like Aaron Boone. So what you gonna do when Yankee Nation runs wild on you in the boogie down Bronx tomorrow night? And I'll be here on New York Minute Sports breaking it down with the post-game show, and hopefully the New York Yankees will be packing their bags for north of the border, and we'll be talking to the Blue Jay fans right here on New York Minute Sports. Let's go Yankees! Pray to whoever you pray to. Hug whatever tree you hug. And remember, if you can't be good, be bad, baby. Bye.